Hey, hey, hey.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We're back, Charlie. How you doing?
Evelyn Fantasy Football. I'm doing well. How are you today, Ryan?
I'm doing great. It's
Good.
Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday. We're starting, what, 2 weeks from tonight already? No, yeah, 2 weeks from tonight. This is the first
Yeah.
game, Philadelphia and Dallas. How about that?
Yeah, it's exciting. It's coming up quick. I'm super hyped. I think we even have a Friday night game that
We do.
opening week too.
Chargers and Chiefs. Am I right? Oh, yeah, that's right. That's awesome. I'm looking forward to that one too. That'll be
Yeah,
good.
that'll be interesting. We've never had a Friday night game right there to start the season, but I'm
Yeah,
all for
we
it.
like that. Dallas will probably get smoked against Philly. Um, I don't know about the Chargers and Kansas City. That could be a toss up. Chargers might actually get that one. But we're not here for betting advice. We're here for fantasy football advice. Am I right? That's right.
Yeah, let's jump into it. But first, I'll say, Ryan, your beard's coming in good there. It's getting extra long. I like it.
Appreciate that, Charlie. Thank you very much. Way to be clean shaven today. That looks good too.
I think I shaved yesterday. I probably got a couple little morning shadow coming in.
Couple stragglers. It
Yeah.
still looks good either way, though, Chuck. Always.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
We have our draft actually this Saturday. Redraft, Charlie and I do. We swap picks. I have the fourth overall pick now, and Charlie has the seventh overall pick. So
Yeah.
we'll see how that goes, and we'll let you know what we're thinking about when it gets there, because it really depends on the top three guys in our league, what they're going to draft, and who's available at number four. So, and then obviously number seven is kind of the same type of situation, but
Yeah.
we'll see who's available. There's rumors of people like, yeah, Bijan and Gibbs and Jamar Chase, and who knows if that happens? Maybe Saquon at number four would be great for me, and we'll see what Charlie does for number seven. So
Yeah. I think I told Ryan this already. I'll just say it really quickly. I just think it dries it out in the second round there. So it's
yeah,
a one-man keeper league. So that's just how I feel. I know there are a couple of guys in the second and third round that still have some great value, but yeah, that's why I traded back with Ryan. But yeah, should be very fun. I'm looking
no,
forward to it.
it was good, Charlie. Got to give you a chance to win in the league because I won 3 years in a row. Nah,
Oh yeah, that's why you did it. They're giving me crap here. Fast forward 30 seconds if you don't care about our league, but league chat was blowing up just because I traded Jonathan Brooks last year for a 10th rounder for a guy to possibly keep, and then got Jonathan Taylor for a ninth rounder, or gave up Jonathan Taylor for a ninth rounder. And I'm keeping Brian Thomas Jr. So I got an extra ninth and an extra 10th. So yeah, they
Charlie
said it
has
was,
got a good setup for sure. I will say that. BTJ, really good right there.
yeah, I'm excited getting him in the 10th. Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, let's jump into the top 20 running backs. Ryan, who is your 20th ranked running back?
My 20th ranked running back is Travion Henderson over there in New England. I just think he's going to take everything away from Ramondre Stevenson. He is also a good back out of the backfield, can catch quite a few balls for half PPR work, and he did a great job at Ohio State. And there's a lot of rave about him so far in New England. They also have quite a few weapons there now. Chance even maybe they get Terry McLaurin. So a lot of focus will be on him and Diggs and some of their other backup receivers. And that means that they'll probably not be able to stack the line as much. And I could see Travion Henderson as a rookie potentially having a little bit of a breakout year, or at least a decent amount of games, at least over 10 plus points. So I'd say he would be a great flex starter for sure for me, but I would have him at number 20 running back wise. So how about you,
Yep.
Charlie? Who's your 20?
You said most of it. I'd say him there. I'll say I bumped down Joe Mixon. Maybe we can talk about a couple honorable mentions
Yep.
right at the end there, but I'll stay on Travion here. They have a really good offensive line. I've liked what they've done on the draft with beefing that up because they've been struggling the last few years with that. He does have to share time with Ramondre, so it might be a slower start, but I expect him to fully take over second half of the year.
Yes, I agree with that. Aligned.
All right. I'll just try to keep it quicker just because I know we're trying to get through running backs and
Give
tight
me a sec.
ends. So. or QBs. Can't even
Right.
think. I did all of them
Yeah.
yesterday, so
Should we do a few honorable mentions, Charlie?
yeah, right away. Well, I mentioned Joe Mixon, so his
Yeah.
injury is just very scary. He was averaging 23 points per game before week 12 last year. The offensive line got a little bit worse. But yeah, just keep an eye on that injury. That's why we moved him down. That was my honorable mention. Ryan, you got one that you'd like to mention here?
Yeah, I will say Isaiah Pacheco. I know I only played in 7 games last year. Got hurt, had a gruesome injury. He's coming back from that. Kareem Hunt obviously proved himself pretty well last year by getting about 728 yards in a few games he was playing and decent amount of touchdowns. But I just think Pacheco's hard running is gonna get him quite a few obviously carries. And a few 2 years ago he had a pretty much a breakout season, and I think he can get back to that form. Uh, so it's a risky play, but I agree. Him see another one against Tony. Pretty decent this year, running back wise. So, sorry, I just froze there for a second, Charlie. That's on me. I didn't see that. But
That's
uh,
all
all
good.
right, those are my honorable mentions: Tony Pollard and Isaiah Pacheco. But don't draft them until later in your round. So Pollard could have
Yeah,
a
I
few
like
breakout
Pollard a
games as
lot.
well. He did well when yeah.
Yeah.
They have Ty J. Spears there, but I think Pollard will get the bulk of the carries. So
Yeah, and Spears just had a minor injury. They said he should be fine to start the year, but I think that'll only boost Pollard to begin those first couple
yeah,
weeks. So we got Bravion at 20th. We'll switch off kind of who does the main bit of the talking here. So I'll go to my 19th guy. I don't know where you have him exactly, but I got Brees Hall there with the Jets. It's kind of scary news coming out of camp because they said it's a 1A, 1B situation with Braylon Allen. I think they'll
yeah,
be, yeah, obviously sharing the backfield. They got Justin Fields there now, so I don't think their offense is going to be nearly as good as last year because he is really bad at throwing, so their offense might not be able to extend drives as often with him in there. Um, he had a very disappointing year last year and the year before that. So, I mean, he is going into a contract year. So that's the only thing I would say about him is maybe he's going to try to go get that money from maybe another team or maybe give the Jets an opportunity to pay him come next year. So, yeah, that's just a little bit about Brees Hall. It's crazy to think he's this far down after the last few years. He's been a top 4 or 5 running back.
yeah. No, I agree with you. I have him at 19 as well. Braylon Allen is
Okay.
a great running back, and he's young. I just think he's going to take over, like you said, 1A, 1B. And maybe since Brees is on that contract year, they'll try to obviously get him to do decent, or he'll obviously try as hard as he can to get as much money as he can next year. But as a whole, I just think maybe they'll punt him away and kind of focus on Braylon Allen because he's young and he is good. He had a few breakout games last year, a few long touchdowns, and I could just see him doing pretty well. But don't give up on Brees Hall quite yet. Maybe after the first few games you can. But he has that energy too. I think he'll, like you said, contract year, he'll try as hard as he can. So that's my 19 as well. We're aligned on that. My 18 though, I have Tuba Hubbard there in Carolina. So I will say uh, he had some good games last year. Now they do have Rico Dowdle though. So that could be pretty tough because Rico Dowdle is honestly not that bad. But Chuba Hubbard had about 1,200 yards last year. He's averaging around 15 points per game, fantasy wise. Decent amount of touchdowns, and I do think that Carolina offense is kind of potent now with Bryce Young kind of figuring it out towards the end of last year, and the NFC South defenses not being that great. So I could definitely see at least 6 good games out of him where he does decent production, and I could even hopefully see later on, as long as Rico Dowdle does not take a bulk of the carries. So that'd be a little bit worrisome, especially with how he finished in Dallas last year. But Chuba Hubbard is their number one guy right now. So I have him at 18. What about you?
Okay. Yeah, I got him at 17. I think you touched on
Yeah.
everything I was going to touch on. I think from week three on, though, he was RB7, so he finished very strong, and the team trusts him. They went out and paid him mid-year last year, which was kind of crazy because that was before Jonathan Brooks's injury got re-aggravated. So yeah, they really got trust in him. So yeah, I got him at 17 there myself. Um, my 18th guy, I guess I'm sure you have him maybe one spot higher. I'm not too sure is Kenneth Walker. He's a little bit scary for me just because kind of similar to Brees, he's got a 1A, not quite 1A, 1B,
Yep.
but they said they want to get Charbonnet very involved and they want to run the ball. Um, and he gets hurt a lot. He's been hurt basically every year besides his rookie year. But when he is in, he's averaging almost 16 points per game and about 5 targets per game. But yeah, he's just got to get away from that injury bug.
I'm with you on that. I got Kenneth Walker at what is it, 17? So yeah, it's
Okay,
just one
just had
above
those two flip-flopped.
Chuba Hubbard. If Kenneth Walker can stay healthy, I think he'll have good production. It's just the health injury bug is tough, and when he's out, Charbonnet does do very well. But Sam Donald's their QB now. They lost DK. Their wide receiver core took a hit. I think their passing game will take a hit a little bit, and maybe they'll stack the box against both. Definitely against Charbonnet, Kenneth Walker a little bit probably too. So we'll see. I still think he's pretty high. He's still a good pickup, maybe like a mid
Yeah,
round. So
yeah, no,
okay.
agreed.
Yeah. What
All
do you
right.
at 16, Charlie? Who's
I
your guy?
got Amari and Hampton at 16. What about you?
Yep, we're aligned on that. I have
Oh,
mine.
perfect.
Yeah,
You want to talk on him or you want me to grab this one?
you can talk a little bit about him. I'll let you do that. Fine.
Okay, I'll be quick on him just because we talked about him in our last show. So if you haven't listened to that, go back to the rookie show. We touched
Yeah.
on Amari and Hampton. Yep,
Yes.
go give us a like there and a follow, subscribe on YouTube, please. We would enjoy that. So he's another rookie. He's jumped up very high, I think, in everyone's rankings just because Najee is not out there participating. This is going to be his backfield. He's just a fantastic prospect. The only knocks against him is that they signed Najee in the offseason, and people were thinking he was going to come off to a slow start because of that. And yeah, that Najee was going to get all the goal line carries. But yeah, no, I got a lot of faith in him. He's kind of like a discount Ashton Genty, I'd say this year because I think that they won't be too far off in where they finish. Maybe a hot take, but between Genty and Hampton, I think they could finish right alongside each other.
That's a hot take, but I could see. I just think if Najee Harris is back, this is the thing is we don't know when, but he could do decent or at least take a few of those goal line touchdowns away. But so you think Genty and Hampton are going to be like close points wise? Do you have Genty then at what 14? So
I'm not necessarily saying points wise. I maybe
I
thinking
yeah,
like value wise to your team, I'd say. So I think Hampton will start off slower. I think Genty will outscore him in the season. But I think towards the back half of the year, I think Harbaugh and the Chargers will put more trust in him. And I think that he could be right alongside Genty in points per game at the end of the year.
I see. Yeah, I like that. Well, that's good analysis for sure. But we got him at the
Okay,
same spot. So I have nothing
perfect.
else on Hampton. That was good.
Okay. Who do you got at? I think we're at 15 now.
15, yeah, that's right. I have Alvin Kamara at 15. That's my guy. He obviously good production still towards the end of last year. Great PPR pickup with receiving, but that man is old. He's getting up there in age. They don't have a good QB, Tyler Schloff, or uh, goodness, I'm going blank on their other guy right now. Unfortunately, Derek Carr's gone. So the QB
Is it
situation.
Rattler?
Yeah, sorry, Spencer Rattler. Fortunately, the QB situation in New Orleans is not great. Kamara's hurt. Or sorry, not hurt. Kamara's old. Kendra Miller could be coming for a little bit of his production. Try to get one of those younger backs going a little bit. Um, but if he could have a few old time games. Kamara can, where he puts up quite a few points if he gets like some touchdowns or something. But he didn't even run over 1,000 yards last year, and that's kind of hard to do when I know he only played 14 games, so he also had some injuries, which is another thing to look out for. But it's kind of hard to do for sure with how many games they play nowadays. But I have Kamara right there at 15, so still a good, decent pickup if you get him later round, mid round as well. But he's getting up there in age, so be careful. So,
Yep, I
what do you
agree
got
with
at
what you're
15, Charlie?
saying. Um, right at with 15, I had Kamara at 14. I'll touch on my number 15. You might have him a little bit higher because I know you love him. I got James Conner here sitting at number 15. Here we are again, another older running back. He's not quite as old as Kamara, but he's coming off back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. I believe he's 30 years old. But James Conner, he's averaging 15 plus carries a game and three catches a game. So he's a workhorse back. He's three down back. He catches the ball out of the backfield. And I do think the offense is going to get better this year. Not significantly better. I just think they'll take a step up. So yeah, that's where I got James Conner. I don't think anyone's necessarily gonna be taking over his workload.
Yeah, that was my thing. I just have him flip flop just because of bad backups in Arizona versus New Orleans. So nobody will take their workload. But I think Kendra Miller can take a little bit more reps than the Arizona backup compared to James Conner. So, and then also too, it is a Kyler Murray to stay healthy, and uh, like Trey McBride and Marvin Harrison are going to keep on having a lot of attention to them from the defenses, and people will forget about James Conner a little bit, and he can also catch out of the backfield too. So really close, but I just have Conner just a little bit flipped this year with the backups in Arizona compared to the backups in New Orleans. But I'd say they're about really similar production wise. So
Yeah, definitely. I think those are really good guys to get in PPR
yeah.
leagues just because they both catch so many balls out of the backfield.
All right. All right. 13. We're at. You want to talk about that?
13. You want me
Yeah.
to talk about 13 or you want to grab 13?
You can go 13. Quick, I went with
Okay.
15. If that's fine with you. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. I got James Cook at 13.
Yeah. Oh, I'm aligned.
Um,
Sorry. I'm good on that.
what?
We have the same. We have James. I have James Cook as well at 13.
Okay. He had
So,
a monster season last year. He had 16 touchdowns, which I did the calculations that came out to about 43% of his overall fantasy points, which is insane. So I obviously think that's going to come down. I think that Josh Allen can steal a lot of those goal line carries. I know he didn't last year, but I think that maybe Josh Allen can get a couple more touchdowns this year, and that'll easily take some of his fantasy value down. I just don't think touchdowns can repeat like that. Yeah, that's pretty much my analysis on James Cook. They paid him this offseason, so I guess they got a little
yeah.
bit of faith in him, but yeah, that's about it. They
That's
don't have many wide receivers.
that's my big thing is yeah, James Cook got paid. There's a reason why he's still there. I know it was recent pay, but he got paid a decent amount still. So they believe in him. He's their guy. I know they have Ray Davis there as well. But I think Ty Johnson is his name. But James Cook, like you said, so their guy gets gonna get some touchdowns, gonna get a decent amount of like out of the backfield catches and everything too. Like you said, with no receivers really, and James Cook can kind of run routes. He's good at that out route in the vertical, and Josh Allen just like dumping right into his arms. So I could look out for some big games from James Cook. He could be a little boom or busty, which is tough. Not busty, sorry, boom or bust. There we go. Which could be tough, but I still think he's still a really good pickup for sure. So I'm gonna have him at 13. We're good on that, Charlie, which is nice. So
Perfect, perfect. Who you got at 12?
my 12 could be out there. I know you're probably gonna have a little bit higher. It's gonna be a maybe a little bit of a hot take, but I'm gonna put Achan at 12. So Devon Achan, Miami running back. Yeah, he's my 12 guy. I know obviously last year Tua was hurt, so every defense stacked a box against him. And I'm not gonna say he's 12 this year just because of the injuries. I would say he's 12 this year because Tua's back. I think it'll stay healthy. Tyreek and Waddle get a decent amount, and I just think HN as a whole is just a little bit overrated. He can definitely score out of the backfield. I know Mostert's not there anymore either, but I just think that HN's going to be uh, just his analysis is he's fast, but he's not going to be as great this year. They have another rookie running back, or last year they picked up the Tennessee running back, and they just like to kind of cycle through them. I feel like a little bit with Mostert having a great year, then HN coming along, HN having a great year, and then now this right guy, I think he'll come along and he might have a great year. So might have HN at 12. He can still be a decent draft pick, and he'll probably be a second or third round. Probably not even third round, probably second round for a lot of drafts. And I don't blame you for taking him there, but just be careful on him.
All
Um,
right, I wanted to talk on him. I'm going to try to change your opinion here a little bit. I got some interesting stats. So
yeah, let's
Devon
hear it.
Achane, Devon Achane, he is injured right now, so that's scary. I did drop him down in my rankings because of that. I originally
Yep.
had him up at 5, so I dropped him down to 9. Um, yeah, that calf injury, it reminds me of McCaffrey a little bit going into the season. He might miss a couple weeks. That's why I had to drop him. But I love HN, especially in a PPR league. In games without Tua last year, he averaged only 7.7 points per game. They couldn't throw the ball. They were stacking the box on him. But that's not what he does well. In games with Tua, he was the RB3 in points per game. So you can't run behind a stack box, but they line him up at receiver. If you had him on any of your teams, you'll be like, who the heck is this guy out in the slot? It was Devon Achane. He's out there catching so many balls. They just love to get the ball in his hands. And they're actually one of the trade candidates for Brian Robinson Jr. right now. That is something that scares me, but they don't like Jalen Wright at all. So right now, I think he's the only running back that they really have trust in. Jalen Wright, I think he got dinged up in practice and he only averaged over like 1 yard a carry in the preseason. So yeah, that's just how I feel about Achane. The injury scares me, but RB3 in points per game when Tua is in there. So I love Achane.
No, that's good analysis. Injury could be a little bit difficult for sure. Take that into consideration. And if they do get Brian Robinson Jr., I'd also take that into consideration, even though he's a little bit on the slower end for that Miami offense. But that is really good analysis, anyways, right there.
You think that would move him up in your rankings at all after hearing that?
Yeah, I still like the guys above him. I'm gonna be honest with you. I probably would draft
Okay,
them above him, but um,
fair
uh,
enough.
for the audience out there, HN's not obviously a bad pick at all. So um,
Yes, just monitor the injury and yeah, make sure you're
that
not taking him too high.
yeah, no, that's good analysis from Charlie. So I will. That's good. Thank
All
you.
right, so that
But
that was 12. That was
who's your
12,
12?
I think.
Yeah, who's your 12 though?
My 12 is Bucky Irving.
Yeah,
Um, I haven't really watched him honestly a ton. I feel like I didn't see a ton of Tampa Bay games last year, but looking at some of his stats, he was the RB7 in the second half of the year after he finally took over Rashad White's role. Fifth in yards per carry. And you know what? They are losing Liam Cohen, which does hurt him a little bit, but they've had a lot of wide receiver injuries, so I think that they're going to have to run the ball. So with that breakout in the second half with Godwin being out the first couple weeks, I think that Bucky is a very safe player, and I think he's going to have a 10 top 15 fantasy running back here.
yeah, I agree. I have him at 11. That's good analysis. So we're pretty close there.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I know this kind of screws up our like going back and forth a little bit, but who was do you want me to talk about my 10 or do you want to go to your 11 real quick?
Well, who's your 10? We can go to, I mean, it'll be similar by the end, so it's fine.
My 10 is Kyron Williams. Um he got paid as well. He's getting up there a little bit. He has great production. Still, I have nothing negative really to say about Kyron Williams. I just think some of the backs above him will get a lot more of kind of the carries and the workload. Because Kyron, they have they have Blake Corum there right now, don't they? Or
Yeah, they
uh,
drafted Corum last
yeah,
year.
they still have Corum last year, and I feel like they're just not gonna not use him really at all, if that makes sense. Kyron is still gonna get a lot of it, and he's a great running back, great pick. People are getting him in the third round this year compared to I think it was closer to the first round last year. So great worth and great value on those picks for sure. I just have
Okay.
him at 10, and I just think some people are going to be above him, but pretty close to the others. So,
Yeah. No, I don't have too much to add. I mean, PPR leagues, I like him a lot more. Stafford's injury scares me again,
yeah,
similar to the wide receivers. So yeah, you got to watch that because no Stafford, they're not going to be able to do anything. So I would have him probably further down. I got Kyron at 8 actually. So
yeah.
yeah, I like him. Similar though. All right, I'm going to talk about my number 11. You probably have him higher because we've talked about other guys now, but I got Jonathan Taylor there. Um, so basically, 40% of his total fantasy points last year came in the final 3 games of the year,
At the end
which is
of the year.
crazy. I had him in my league and I still didn't end up winning, which is sad. But they've had Daniel Jones in there to start the year. I know it'll probably flip-flop between him and Richardson all season long, but I do like it better when Daniel Jones is their quarterback because Richardson can't snipe away some of those goal line carries, goal line touchdowns.
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. He's had some frustrating injuries. Seems like every year he's out a couple weeks here and there, but when he's in, he's good.
Yeah. No, I agree. I have him at 9, so it's just right above.
Okay,
Pretty
perfect.
similar. I just think he can take off um, like the end of his year last year and put it into this year with Daniel Jones as the QB there. And he looked like his old self at the end of last year, and I think he'll get right back into that form, but he might only have 1 or 2 years left. Probably 1 year left doing that, so make good use of it for sure.
Yep,
But
definitely.
so
I
yeah,
think we're at
what about your 10?
my 10 is Chase Brown. You want me to touch on him first, or you want to touch on him first?
That's fine with me. I actually am really high on Chase Brown. I do have uh, Gene T at what is it? My number 8, and I have Chase Brown at my number 7. So I have Chase Brown at 7. He's proven that I know he didn't get over 1,000 yards last year, but he was still mixing a little bit of Zach Moss, and they were kind of figuring out that offense, which is very potent for sure, and they love using Chase Brown there. He had 7 touchdowns rushing. He had 4 receiving, so he gets some of the a lot of it was goal line, definitely situations. But they're gonna. I mean, defenses obviously are worried about T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. That uh, and the Bengals, as we've seen, they like to score over about 30 points per game. So that means lots of touchdowns, and that means Chase Brown is going to have quite a few of those. So I'm going to have him at 7. I just like him. He's young, and I think he's just going to keep on getting better and better every season. And I believe this will be another season when he gets better. Because this year he was a rookie last year already, wasn't he? And this is his second year. I
Yeah,
want to
I
say.
don't know why I'm blanking on that too. I don't know
So,
for sure.
yeah, he's 25, so maybe this is his. No, yeah, last year was his rookie year, so this is his
Okay.
second. I just think he has the backfield pretty much to himself. So, um, look for good production out of him. I'm at 7. GT's I'm at 8. You have him at what was it, 10, right?
Yeah, it's just
So
Brown at 10. I think you made a lot of good points there about him. Their defense is so bad. So yeah, they're gonna have to keep scoring points. So you like that with fantasy. I think from week 9 on, he was the RB5 after finally taking over from Zach Moss fully, which was huge. He ended up catching like 54 passes. So maybe I do need to bump him up in my rankings here after talking about him because if he caught 54 passes and most of that was the second half of the year, I mean, he could be catching close to 100 with that, which would be very close to like a top three back at that point. But anyway, you talked about him already. We talked about my next couple. My seven's Josh Jacobs. Not much to say there except for he's bell cow back. Um, they don't really have anyone else that's going to take away touches from him. Last year, he was fifth in the NFL in touches. He scored in every game after week 11 on. And the Packers have an awful wide receiver room. I mean, they're all like wide receiver twos and threes. So I think that they'll still want to be running the ball.
I agree. Josh Jacobs is my six, so close. But
Fair enough.
yeah, he's a workhorse for sure. Josh Jacobs is. He obviously led the league in rushing. Was that 2 years ago now? Moved to a different team. Still did really well. And now obviously it's all him in the backfield pretty much. So Emmanuel Wilson really won't do a whole lot there. AJ Dillon's gone. So receivers torn up, bad. Um, let's look for a good year out of Josh Jacobs because I think a lot of people are projecting Green Bay to be either NFC North favorites or runner up. So that means that would be a lot of good production out of Jacobs and a lot of touchdowns or yards and everything. They're going to need him. So I have him at six. You have him at seven, you said. So pretty close on that. But
Yeah. Yep.
I guess
Brian, I
so.
see we
Who
have
is
about 3:30 left here on this meeting, so maybe we'll do a little bit of a rapid round here with the running backs. Maybe touch on each one. We'll just do three and three for our top six. You wanna? Or I'll talk on Genty here quick. I mean,
yeah,
go listen to our last show. He's the bell cow back there. I think even if he turns into a Trent Richardson type situation where he's not very efficient, he's just going to get so many touches that it won't even matter. And I think he's going to be a top 5 or 6 back just because of that.
yeah, yeah.
All right.
Obviously, I'm just a little lower, not proven, but pretty close.
Fair enough. All right, who else you got in here at I think we're at 5 now or around
Yeah,
there.
five. I'm gonna say Derrick Henry. It's either gonna be him or McCaffrey at five. Henry's getting older, but he's still their guy in Baltimore, and he's just a freaking unit. Spends a lot of dollars on his body every year, and he had almost 2,000 yards rushing just by himself last year. So 16 touchdowns. Just an unbelievable back. If you can get him a little bit later, honestly, now, which is great on a wraparound second pick, definitely worth it. So,
Yeah. And when they win, they hand the ball off to Henry. He does good. Yep.
yep, yep.
All right, four. I'll talk on my four. I know you have a different guy at four, but my four is Jahmyr Gibbs. He's still split in the backfield with David Montgomery, so that's big. That's why I don't have any higher. I think he has the ability to be the RB1, but just because of the fact that he's still sharing the backfield with Monty, I think that holds him back here a little bit. Um, yeah, I mean, their offense should get slightly worse because they're losing Ben Johnson, but yeah, that's if he can take over Monty, I'm all for it.
Yeah, which I think is going to happen probably with the new guy. Monty's also getting older. So I have McCaffrey at four, but him and Gibbs close. Um, so three and four. But
Yeah, I got McCaffrey at three. I mean, he's just so injury risky.
he
But
could be one. He really could be one, though, if we see 2 years ago production or every other year thing. So he could do really well. But,
yeah, just gotta take a risk on that injury if you really want to.
yeah. Who's
So
your one?
obviously, we have Bijan and Saquon, same order, one and two.
Yep. Yep.
Not much to say about these guys. I mean, any running back I feel like has the ability to get hurt at some point. So it's just pick whichever one you don't think will get hurt.
Yeah, it's that, and then obviously still the touch push Jalen Hurts, or yeah, Jalen Hurts can take a few touchdowns away from Saquon. So obviously injury wise, it's interesting, but Atlanta will put up a lot of points because their defense also is rather trash.
And he's
And
23 years old. That's why I got Bijan
yeah,
high.
he's really athletic too, crazy. Um, but
All right. Well,
Uh,
that'll, I think, do it for running backs. Maybe want to reconnect for a quick tight end show. We'll do it pretty rapid.
QB. Yeah, tight end, tight end, tight end.
No, no, no. QB, QB.
Sorry.
Sorry.
All
I'll
right.
I'll send you another invite. My bad. Babylon Fantasy Football.
Evelyn, let's go.